What's up, guys? Your realtor, Sarb Sold It, back again, and this time I'm going to be talking about the dumbest thing that you can do if A, you own a home and you're over the age of 55. And before I get started, this is just my personal opinion. So what am I referring to? It's a reverse mortgage. This, in my mind, is one of the dumbest things that you can do, like I said, if you own a home and you're over the age of 55. What is a reverse mortgage? So a reverse mortgage is essentially you taking out, another mortgage first and foremost, but it's you doing essentially an equity release. It's you taking out 55% of your home's value to either pay down debts for retirement, for healthcare, for whatever, a multitude of reasons. It's you need money, so you get another mortgage. So it's you taking out a loan against your home, very much like a home equity line of credit. However, in order to be eligible for this, first and foremost, you need to be a homeowner, you need to be on title, you need to be over the age of 55, and obviously your age and income are dependent on how much money you will get, but you can get a maximum of 55% of your home's equity amount, which can be a substantial amount, especially for individuals, obviously because you're 55 plus. You bought a home back in the 80s, 70s for less than $150,000, and now that home's sitting at $1.5 million. So you have quite a bit of equity built up, especially if you paid off your mortgage completely and you haven't really taken out any HELOCs against it. Now you can use up to 55% of that to pay for other things, get you closer to retirement and all that. Why is this stupid and why do I think it's dumb? Well, first and foremost, the fees that come associated with a reverse mortgage are extremely high. On another thing, there's the closing costs, and it's a loan at the end of the day. It does need to be repaid at a certain point. You don't technically own your home anymore. You're technically now renting it from the bank. Eventually, that loan needs to be repaid, and the only way that loan will be repaid is if you pass away or if try and sell the home. All debts incurred need to be repaid. Now this does mean, that this is kind of a pro when it comes to a reverse mortgage. You don't need any kind of prepayment. You only pay if the last borrower dies or if you sell the home. So if it is your forever home, you're not selling the place until, of course, they have to remove your body out of the place. Now, when it comes to a reverse mortgage, and this is why I'm not a big fan of it, is you will owe more on interest just because it compounded over the time that you did not sell your home, to a point where when you do sell it or when the bank needs to sell it in order to recuperate, the loan and the money that has been spent on this property, there's not much equity left, if at all, sorry. So this is really only a feasible kind of option to get additional funds from your home if you don't have a next of kin or you don't have, you don't plan on giving the property away to family members or your children or even to friends or anything like that. If you're in your forever home and you don't have any kids, you don't plan on giving up your home, passing it down to them so they can then start building wealth of their own or have a place to live in, well then yeah, it makes sense to maybe get a reverse mortgage because you get money right away and the only time you have to repay is when you either sell it or when you die. Now, not just everybody is eligible for a reverse mortgage. Obviously, the two big ones, criteria that has to be met is you have to be a homeowner, you have to be on title, and of course you need to be over the age of 55. But then comes other parameters, like I mentioned before, where they look at your income, they look at your age, they look at the house type, you have to get an appraisal and everything to see how much you can kind of get out of your home. And on top of that, the house needs to be paid off before you kind of apply for a reverse mortgage. You can't have an existing mortgage on there. You also can't have a HELOC on there, a home equity line of credit. So there's quite a few factors that are involved before you can actually just apply for a reverse mortgage. And then again, on the other end, if you do go forward with getting a reverse mortgage, well, now you're kind of hindering your options. You're not able to now take out a home equity line of credit. And in some cases, you may not be able to get a lump sum payment right away. You might be able to get a small amount and then payments over the course of a certain amount of time. And again, that's all built around your eligibility. And so there's quite a few factors that are involved. So when it comes down to it, what are the pros? Well, the pros is you get money, just like you would with, a home equity line of credit or with selling your home. It's just another way to leverage your home and take out the money that has been built up over the years as you paid down your mortgage and built up equity. And of course, yeah, you can use those monies you've received to pay down bills, healthcare expenses, get you closer to retirement, et cetera, whatever you want to use it for. That's a pro. Now, what are the cons? The cons are substantial. Like I mentioned before, it kind of hinders your options to get other kinds of financing. You can't really sell the home, because if you sell the home, now you're going to be paying obscene fees and closing costs and interest that has been accrued over the years. And the fees involved when it comes to paying off a reverse mortgage are much, much higher than other options that are kind of available to take out money from your home. It doesn't make sense for individuals who are looking to get money quick, but at the same time, have the home outright that they want to pass on to their next of kin. Absolutely not. Because when time comes where you pass away, the bank comes to get that repayment. They're taking the home, they're selling the home. Your kids don't get it, or the next of kin don't get it. The fees, the interest accrued, not being able to really sell your home unless you want to pay obscene fees, and essentially renting your home back from the bank is kind of all the cons. And there's risks involved as well. And these risks really really encompass the interest rate and what the interest market is kind of like. So obviously in a high interest environment, and if you've held it on for a long time, there's a lot of interest that needs to be paid. And again, that gets paid at the very end. You can't do that monthly. You can't do that over a payment schedule. It's all done at the very end. And so when that's done, there's little to no equity left in the home. So as you can see, I'm not a big fan of reverse mortgages. It really only works for a very small select group of people. And for those individuals, if you want to go through with it, you're over the age of 55 and you don't have any kids and you don't really, you don't care to give your property away to anybody after you pass away and you're in your forever home and you need money now, then yeah, sure. It might make sense for you to get it. However, for a majority of individuals that have been considering getting a reverse mortgage to get money or to take equity out of their home so they can use it to help pay the bills, help their healthcare expenses, help in other manners, there's better options available. So think twice before thinking about getting a reverse mortgage. This has been your realtor, Sarbir, signing off. I'll see you guys on the next one.